Welcome to Mission SONlight, reporting from the Northern Asia Pacific Division of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Today we visit the country of Mongolia, a landlocked region nestled between the republics of Russia and China. Today, Mongolia covers a vast expanse of territory with a landmass of nearly 604,000 square miles, which is slightly larger than the state of Alaska. The current outreach of the Seventh-day Adventist Church was begun by Brad and Kathy Jolly just 15 years ago. There were no Seventh-day Adventist churches in the country in the early 1990s, and their work was difficult and lonely. To reach the Mongolian people, they began with English classes and evangelism in small groups. The first baptisms took place in 1993, and the first Seventh-day Adventist Church was organized 4 years later. Today, there are 1,200 members who worship in both churches and companies. The Ulaanbaatar Central Church was built with funds from a previous 13th Sabbath offering. Today, it is led by Pastor Bold, the first ordained minister in Mongolia.
The 13th Sabbath offerings have helped us tremendously. In fact, this church that we are using is built by the 13th Sabbath offering. Our church is very young in terms of membership. Almost 70% of our church membership is under 35, which means we have many college students.
Other members meet in churches such as the Amazing Grace Church, which is housed in a Mongolian ger, a round tent which is a typical Mongolian home. Today, the Adventist Church in Mongolia is made up mostly of young people, with about 70% of church members in or near their 20s.
Mongolian society itself is very young, and young people tend to be more open to the gospel. They have seen that communism has not really been the answer, it has failed. They've seen that traditional religions don't really offer anything, and so the young people are open to Christianity and the message of God.
When a young Adventist arrives in Ulaanbaatar to attend school, there is no infrastructure that allows them to have housing and a place where they can live with other Adventist young people. There are no Seventh-day Adventist educational institutions in Mongolia today. These young Adventist Christians long for a way to worship and live together.
Living in a public dormitory gives us a chance to share our beliefs with non-Christian young people, but at first it was hard for me to share my beliefs with others. I live with 3 other girls. I think it would be better for me to live in a Christian dormitory. Living with non-Christian young people is sometimes hard, and sometimes I am confused about my beliefs.
70% of the members are under 35, and this makes for a very young church. Many of them have no Christian background. Working with the youth to help them understand Christianity is very fundamental work. I can see that it is easier for them to be strong when they are united, and easier for them to keep their beliefs. I know many students who experience abuse and other hard things when they are living in other places.
This quarter's 13th Sabbath offering will provide funds to help build a dormitory that Adventist students can use when they travel from their homes to Ulaanbaatar.
I am actually from the countryside, and I came here to study. I have many troubles because I live with my relatives who are not Christians. They are shamanist, and they don't want me to study my Bible or go to church. There are times when I don't even have bus or taxi money to go to church. If I am living in the dorm, it will be much easier for me to study my Bible, worship, and go to church. All of this will help me grow stronger in my beliefs. Many of our church young people will be happy that the dormitory is going to be built, because in the other dormitories there are many difficulties. If we have a chance to live in a church dormitory, we will have a healthier environment. We'll also have a chance to study the Bible and grow in our beliefs together.
The dormitory setting includes organized morning and evening worship. Students will also have a place to have a social life where they can have clubs and outreach programs.
And we have many college students coming from countrysides, which means they have to find a place to stay. Sometimes, the universities or college dormitories are full. And I think this will provide a very good place for us to bring the youth together and have different programs going. And also for us, instilling an Adventist lifestyle is a very difficult thing. So that's why I think this dormitory project will help our young people to have this Adventist lifestyle built in.
In addition to the dormitory, the Adventist Church is reaching into the population with an SDA English language school.
We are offering them scholarship right now. For some of them, I would say about 25 of these young students, we select the best ones because we want to have a pool of people for the future that we can have them ready to work for the mission if we need them. And we are looking to prepare these young people, to really be committed to the work of God. And we also believe that even if they go to work in a company, in a factory, or in any other organization, they will be a good representatives, a good witness of their faith. And that's right now what we really need.
Praying for the work in Mongolia is part of our mission outreach to this nation that is just learning of Christ.
If you'd like to pray for Mongolia, there are two things to pray for. First of all, that the believers will be well grounded in a biblical and an Adventist worldview and lifestyle. The second thing is for leaders. With church growing fairly rapidly, one thing that we really need is good leaders and leadership development. So those two things.
We are very thankful for the World Church for the 13th Sabbath offering, and we are very happy for the World Church to help us in establishing centers that will help our Mongolian people to find God.
The events of this world tell us that Jesus is coming soon. We don't know how long we will have to train our Mongolian brothers and sisters. What will your part be in reaching a young Mongolian for Christ? Take time this week to plan your 13th Sabbath offering for Sabbath, December 27th. Reporting from the land of the blue sky in the Northern Asia Pacific Division, this is Mission SONlight.
Дотор багара чиний эзэн бол би билээ ямар зовлон гамшиг дуу чамайг хамгаалах болно хизээч би хийгаарай чамайг хамгаалан туслах доо мэдэх хэрэггүй Араас чин хөтлөх болно Олны дундаас сонслон чамайг бид үзэн Тулчиг бол минийх билээ